Hey guys, welcome back. Amy Thomas here, and we're going to dive right in and get into video number 2 in this series, so let's get to it. So I want to talk to you about how the search engines actually rank. I want to make sure we're very clear on this. They do not rank videos, they do not rank blog posts, they do not rank websites, they rank web pages. This is very, very important that you understand this, that everything that ranks is its own individual page. Now, the next thing that's really important that you understand and that you need to know is that you need to create a new page or a new video in YouTube that will be on its own page, as we talked about before, for each keyword that you want to rank for. So for every keyword that you want to rank for, you need to create a new video or a new web page devoted specifically for that specific keyword. So here's an example. If we wanted to rank, let's say, for the keyword MLM leads, and we wanted to rank for the keyword MLM lead generation, we need to have each one needs to have their own dedicated page or dedicated video in YouTube, whatever you're trying to rank. So it's really, really important. There's an example there. So what I would do is I would create a blog post. The address would be amy-thomas.com/MLM leads. That would be the page that I have all the information that I'm trying to rank for that keyword. And then I would create another page that would be amy-thomas.com/MLM-lead-generation. And I would rank then for this keyword separately in a separate post. You want to target the keywords for the actual page. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of this a little later so that you can really understand what I'm saying, but you want to target main keywords for the actual page ranking. I'll show you how to actually find relevant keywords and all of that stuff, because that tells Google that that's the relevant keyword for that, and that's what you're trying to rank for. Now, sometimes you will end up ranking for other phrases along the way, and that's great, but your main focus should be to rank on one word, and if you rank on other keywords in the process, it's just an extra bonus. Now, our goal is to get somewhere in the top 3 spots of Google. This is where 60% of all search traffic comes from. It's the top 3 spots. Now, you're going to see the chart I have here. Now, it is a little bit old. It's probably a couple years old, but in general, you're looking at roughly 70 to 75% of your searches click on one of the top 3 things. Now, the newest charts I've seen recently are a little bit different, but it's still always between 60 and 70% is the average, and that's the amount of traffic that you're going to get from being somewhere in the top 3 spots. Now, obviously, number 1 spot is where you want to be, but even if not, even if you're going after a search term that has a couple thousand searches, for example, even if you can't get spot 1, spot 2 or 3 is going to get you a decent amount of traffic every month. If you're targeting a buyer keyword, that's money right there. It doesn't matter if it's only 20 searches or if it's 2,000 searches you get. Money keywords are worth way more than just ranking broad keywords, because what's going to happen when you rank those buyer keywords is you're getting buyer traffic, and that's what we're going to be focusing on more in this course. Now, we want to make sure that we set realistic expectations, because this is going to be one of the main reasons why people fail in search engine optimization. I can tell you I've been doing this for about 3 years now, from the very beginning when I started my mortgage business online. And even myself, I had unrealistic expectations when I started in this industry, and even when I did work for clients. You have to be patient. You want to control your emotions when doing SEO. A lot of people get very, very tied up into the results, and they don't see the bigger picture. So we want to create content around a lot of keywords to rank in the search engines. We want to work on volume, but we really want to focus on quality as well. We're going to be creating content basically as fast as we can do it, but keeping the quality. Now, this can be your blog posts, it can be YouTube videos, forum posts, press releases, authority sites like blogger.com, anything like that to rank for keywords that will make us money and generate fresh leads. Because honestly, leads, that's the name of this business, especially if you're in network marketing like me. We rely on fresh lead generation every single day in internet marketing. Anything like that, new leads, any buyer keywords. The key here is some content will rank and some won't. Some may rank and even lose rankings later. It happens all the time. Sometimes you'll be at the first spot and then the next thing you know, you won't even be on the front 3 pages when you check your rankings 3 months later. After you've been sitting at number 1 for 3 or 4 months, Google decides to change something up and you lose your rankings. Yes, it's a pain in the ass, and I used to be one of those people to really let it bother me. I let my emotions get attached to that, and I would just keep building links, building backlinks forever. And sometimes when you keep building links and you lose rankings, what happens is it can bounce back up over time. But what I want you to really understand is that you don't want to be emotionally tied to your rankings. I don't care if you put a weekend into creating that blog post and you think it's just the best thing since sliced bread. Yes, it is kind of frustrating when you lose rankings and stuff like that, but don't tie your emotions to the rankings, and then it's much easier to clear your head and sit back. And later I'll teach you how to actually analyze stuff as well and figure out what's working and what's not. And just go back. It's much easier if you just go back and create a brand new blog post or a new piece of content, and then you can be back up to the top in 2 weeks. So when you take your emotions out of it and you just sit back and analyze what people are doing and what works, it's way easier to play the game of Google, as I like to call it, and take advantage of it to make money from it. So don't tie your emotions to your rankings, because if you do, you're going to set yourself back. You're going to be building endless amount of links and wasting money and doing SEO content that isn't going to get you rankings. It's just going to make you really, really frustrated. Smart SEOs don't work like that. They work on making money, not on the way their emotions make them feel. Now, the next thing is you really, really need to stay consistent. This is the biggest aim that I see most people completely fail at. It doesn't matter what you're doing online. Consistency is key. Most people fail because they're not consistent. It's very, very important that you only want to create as much content as you actually have time to rank. Now, this is something I actually had to learn the hard way. I spent endless hours and endless days creating content for my initial mortgage business. And the truth is I didn't ever have time to rank it. It was a complete and utter waste of time. I created content out of pure volume, and then I look back at it today, and I would never, ever do that again. The focus should be on creating high quality content and then ranking that content. Another thing is, if you're going to create these types of sites and stuff, you also want to create things on Warrior Forum or videos on YouTube, because what happens is those already have the authority, so you're going to be able to rank those much, much quicker. You don't want to just go out. I think in the first year, I think I wrote 1,000 articles, but realistically, I only actually had time to rank probably 150 of those. So your time is better spent focusing on marketing good quality content over just marketing it out of pure volume. It's good to stay consistent in your blogging and stuff like that. I create blog posts every single day, but even then, those are more geared towards helping people. It's not content that I'm really trying to rank. If I'm focusing on ranking stuff, I make sure that I'm putting my effort into actually taking the time to rank it. So just creating content for the sake of creating it won't get you the results that you do desire. You're just wasting your time. So the best thing to do is to focus on staying consistent and focus on creating good quality content to rank, and you'll start building momentum that way. This is another thing. When you stay consistent and you just purely focus on good stuff, people will like to read it. It'll answer their problems. It solves their searches. And after a while, when you really focus on helping people and then you start to mark your content up so people will find it, what's going to happen is you're going to build up a lot of momentum after a couple months of doing this. And then you just need to keep doing it every day and keep putting the work in, and it just builds up and builds up. And that's when the money starts rolling in. That's when you start getting fresh leads every single day, and the work you initially put in, it starts to pay off. All of this is staying consistent, and it all leads or heads to really, really big things. And then the next thing, of course, is I focus on content that people like and that will help them um, in their everyday things, or whatever the problem is that they're looking to solve. So this is exactly what I do and what I apply. I don't teach anything that I don't actually do myself. I focus on actually getting in the trenches, doing the work, and then I come back and I teach you guys how to do this stuff so that you can get the same results as well. So focus on creating quality content. I know I say that over and over, and I've said it in other videos, and you're probably going to hear me say it quite a bit throughout this course. But that's because it's got me a million times better results when I focus on people getting good content over just creating some crappy video or crappy blog post that nobody wants to read. That really does you absolutely no good. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your money when you're trying to rank content like that as well. And the next thing is that you don't need to pitch people like crazy when you focus on value. We create this content. I know this is an SEO course, but I want to reiterate, this is the way you guys get the best results from your SEO. When you create good content, you don't really need to pitch people. People follow people they like and they trust. When you focus on creating good content that solves their problems, they're naturally going to attach themselves to you, and they're going to follow you, and they're going to want to learn more. And when they want to learn more about you and what you're promoting, they're automatically going to look to you to buy things from you in the future. So the thing that we're looking at the end of the day is all we really want to do is get a system down and then scale up. So once you have a system down and you have it down pat, it all comes down to scaling up your business, creating more content, ranking more posts. You work off of volume, like I told you. If you lose a ranking, honestly, who cares? Just create a new one. By creating content and ranking those posts on a regular basis, your business is going to grow. It's absolutely impossible for it not to. If you lose rankings, just create a new piece of content and start it all over again. Literally, there's been times that I've lost rankings, and when I took my emotions out of the equation and I stopped thinking, man, why did this blog post not rank? I spent all this time on it. It's been ranking for 2 months, and now it's lost rankings. I can't get it back. I would spend hours every day for months trying to get it back up to the top of Google. This isn't the way to go about that. Now these days, if I lose it, I just say screw it. I move on to the next piece. I create another piece of content, and I start building backlinks to it from there until it gets back up to the top. So all Google comes down to, if you're trying to do this, is to create content that helps viewers the best out of everybody. And if you really sit back and watch how the search engine works, like for instance, if you lose your rankings, all you really have to do is stand back, look at who is now ranking at the top of Google, and then go and duplicate them and just take it one step further, and you'll beat out that competitor every time. Once you start getting results, it just comes down to working off the numbers, and then eventually you can outsource a big part of the work. So me, I am a huge fan of outsourcing. And I'll explain why. So what you do is you create the process, you do it yourself, and you get the main idea down. And then at that point, you outsource a big majority of the work. Now, you don't want to forever be building backlinks and doing all the content creation yourself. I personally like to do my own content creation, but some people don't like to. It doesn't matter. Regardless, whatever you want to do, you just want to be focusing on the high leverage tasks in your business. So once you get the system down, all you want to do is teach your employees. Now you can get these employees for just a couple $100s a month. So you're going to teach them how to do the basic backlinking and how to structure your business, and then you just create the content, set it up, and let them do all the hard work. That's all there is to do, all there is to the system. I've created it very, very simple. I'm trying to go through this as simple as possible so that you fully understand. We are going to go through module by module, and by the end, you should have a very good understanding. You should be able to get going, let's say 3 to 6 months in, and that should be the point where you're able to start thinking about outsourcing all of these tasks that you don't really like doing. And also at the 3 to 6 month mark will also be when your business becomes so big and your income levels start to soar. So anyway, I guess that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next video.